behind us on Artesian. That's where my house was when I was in high school. For a moment in time at first, we stayed at my grandma's, and then mom bought a house over there. So I was there for most of high school. At the end of freshman year, she sold that shit. That's why we got the building up the street.
Okay.
Apparently there's trees in the backyard now, and it's funny because I remember I had to like overturn the entire backyard to like make it feasible,
nice.
like a good backyard and shit like that. But now the family that lives there, apparently they have 2 trees. That's what my mom told me.
Oh, so it was like a few years between this place and that one. What were you doing in the middle?
Shit, I was at school.
Oh, you were living like on campus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So are you planning to stay here for like the foreseeable future, or like?
I don't know. I'm trying to get my money right. Like once the money is right, and I feel like I can move anywhere else like that, then yeah, I'll do that. Cause right now, with everything I got in place, it's kind of a sweet spot. The job I work, the cars I drive, where I eat, sleep, whatever the fuck. It just kind of works that way. Until then, I'm trying to figure out some shit. Like if I get a job offer, say some company out in Texas want me or some shit like that, best believe I'm going.
You'd go?
I'd go. Right now I make $25 an hour. Am I giving
right, we were talking about it the other day, yeah.
Am I giving bracket right now with that skill set? If any other job is to come to me asking me to work for them and shit like that, I need 27 or more now. It's a step up.
Right.
I went from making 15 an hour on my couch to making 25 at the merchandise mart.
Right.
Step up.
What's the move here for somebody who's never been here before?
Listen, man. Easy go-to, the easiest go-to. I mean, if you don't really eat chicken like that, if you don't eat sharks like that, bust down a 4-piece or something like that, bust down a 5-piece.
Tenders or wings?
Wings for me.
Wings?
Yeah.
Boneless or bone-in?
One bone-in.
Hey, could we get a 10 wings dinner?
10 wings.
Yeah.
10 wings,
And,
extra lemon pepper, mild sauce on the side.
Yeah.
That's it.
Mild sauce on the side?
Mild sauce on the side, extra lemon pepper.
Okay, got it.
And also a Diet Pepsi?
Diet Pepsi in the can?
Yeah, the can. And
let me get it Sprite.
Huh?
Let me, actually no. Let me get it, Canada Dry. There we go.
Canada Dry.
Ginger ale, baby. Gotta look.
do you and Ryan and Kair, when y'all go out to Sharks, or where's the spot for y'all?
We'll fuck up Sharks. We'll fuck up some Uncle Raymond's. We'll fuck up Harold's. It's a chicken spot on the west side.
Okay.
Many have argued that it's better than Harold's, and it's good. It's great.
It's a tall order.
That's a tall order, yeah. It's a really tall order. But I mean, like, I don't know. I can't really equate them being above each other like that. Like, Harold's always slaps. Uncle Remus always slaps. Can't say one over the other.
What is it, Uncle Remus or Uncle Raymond's?
Uncle Remus.
Remus? Okay.
Oh shit, sneeze. Yeah, just another elite chicken spot, specifically on the west side.
How do you feel about Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A? I'll fuck with
still
the
go there?
Chick-fil-A. I still go there.
Despite the...
Listen, man. If I'm there and if I'm downtown state, fuck up the deluxe with a shake, good, I'm out. Now, as far as how the controversy behind them and everything like that.
Yeah, like, does that, you don't care?
It really, like, I care in the same sense that I don't, because it doesn't really affect me as much like that. Like, every company has its shitty side to that stuff. Like, for example, because it's Pride Month, you'll see every company switching their logos and having all this promotional shit saying, "We stand with you," blah, blah, blah. Right. It's like, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're not making any more money. You're not making yourself look any better than that. It's just, people like the product, they like the product. Now, I fuck with the Chick-fil-A. Do I fuck with the people who work there? Probably not. Do I fuck with the people who run it? Probably
To be
not.
honest, I mean, the people who work there,
The people who work there, they
probably don't care.
They don't. They really don't.
It's probably gay dudes who work for Chick-fil-A.
Everybody making
it's
money.
the CEOs. Right.
It's the CEOs who run that shit. Like, however they feel about it, but it is what it is.
Bro, I feel like you don't seem like the kind of guy that overthinks shit. Cause like even all the shit I've watched about you and like all the interviews and like even the way you talk and about all this, like there's not a lot of like second guessing.
In the grand scheme of things, nothing really matters except for what you choose to make matter. And because of that, it's a lot easier to just kind of like go with the flow with things.
Right.
That's how I see it.
But nothing ever makes you second guess yourself, or
Not really. I mean, every now and then I have those moments where I'm thinking about like a minute decision or some shit like that, but like, not really, no. Everything I do is so I can come home and think about nothing. And that, I guess in that sense, that's where I beat myself up a little bit.
yeah.
So I be feeling like, damn, there's so much more I could be doing right now. There's so much I can be having. There's so much more money I could be making. But at the same time, I kind of come to a point of relaxation because I realize I got enough to pay the bills. I got enough to do this, X, Y, Z. It's a stepping stone. Because a lot of people stress themselves as if like their first step is supposed to be the $1 million step. And that's in any regard, whether that's like, you know, a hobby, a passion, just some lucrative work and everything like that, or just even things to do in life. And they beat themselves up over there forever. Like, I didn't have the best yard
Right.
in my neighborhood. My grass isn't the best on the block. I didn't sweep all this up. I didn't make this art piece the best it could be and everything like that. I didn't say everything. I could have stayed at this conference or some shit like that. Like, people stress themselves over them things. Because of that, that hangs over them for a long time. And then that presses on and starts to affect any and other things that might affect them like that.
Did you feel like that about, or have you ever felt like that about music?
Yeah. A lot of that perspective comes from like hearing Ryan and Kair talk about it so much. Because I don't know if you noticed this, but they haven't dropped as much.
Yeah,
Like,
I did see that.
when I joined up with them and I was dropping tapes on SoundCloud and singles and shit like that, I had this stuff together. 2019 came along and we saw about DistroKid drop that 2-pack SSS rated.
Yeah, the first one, yeah.
And then I was like, fucking finna do an album. Now they was like, are you sure you want to do that? I was like, I got the resources. I got the people in place. We got song ideas. We can make this shit work. And since then, it's just been a thing of like, putting that shit out.
Why did they ask you that? Why were they like, are you sure?
Cause the state of getting on in Chicago right now. If you put out all this content and nobody listens, what was it for? But at the same time, my argument to them is, you're not gonna get noticed if you don't put nothing out in the first place.
It's like a catch-22.
It's catch-22. You just gotta drop. That's the only way you get you get your shit noticed. That's the only way you get traction and stuff like that. And that's what I've been doing. I sort of play this role of being like the field general for the group because a lot of them, they don't do the talking like that. Like Kair, he was a model at a point in time, so he know a lot of pretty people. We know a lot of people who are involved in the scene and shit like that. Ryan, he's just a man behind the scenes. He don't talk so much like that. However, he be at home making his tracks. He makes some hot shit.
Right.
He gonna keep it to himself. He's selfish like that.
Right. Kind of Kanye masterminding a lot of this shit.
Cause he too feels like, I made this track. I really like this track. Now, if I drop this and don't go anywhere, I'm gonna be disappointed. Type shit, like,
It seems like there's like a right distance to keep yourself from your music where it's not too personal, but you also are proud enough of it.
Right.
Did you feel like that when you put out Triple S, like the first one? Or
No.
do you feel like there were some projects you were too close to?
Nah, I'll never feel a sense of me being too close to anything because the thing is, everything I've rapped up today is all personal. Whether it is me coming out like, flexing and things like that, being sad about some shit, high energy or some shit like that, I'm just talking. But at the same time, these are lyrics and lines that come to me because of everything that's happened to me up to that point.
LP3 all need weight, that shit a hat trick. Any beat I eat, that shit right there a fucking classic. Underground king, I'm a fiend, I just run it up. Try me if you want, take that L, little runner up.
One thing about rap is just finding a way, many other ways to rap about the same thing.
Right.
And I try to stay away from that, even though that's the meta. It's like, I could rap about being the best in over 500 different flavors, tastes, and shit like that. But each wave is gonna have a different tonality to it.
Right. Do you feel like you could benefit from having a little bit more of that, like, wider, bigger picture outlook?
Yeah, I could. The thing is, though, it's that constant process of having to live some shit. And then as part of that means I have to work on everything else. Right. Me going to work and everything like that, coming home, helping family, just little things. And that kind of impedes on the process. But it's part of it on its own right. Like, say if I was working from home again, making 25 an hour, I have all the time in the world. I just rap. I just do what I gotta do from a couch. That's how I came up with the mixtape for after the album. That's how I came up with like the last 2 tracks that'll be on Full Metal Heartthrob, like It's Us and Lost Comms. That came together from the couch.
When you were working from home?
Mm-hmm. Back in February.
I mean, kind of going back to what you were saying before about like, you know, you kind of have to live your life, things like that, and that being, that genuineness. Do you feel like you know other people who have that similar outlook, or do you feel like that's unique? Because you were saying even Ryan and Kair are not necessarily on that same page, right?
Like Ryan, he has his reflections on things, and Kair definitely has his reflections on things. Like they have things ready to go that very much touch on that. Like since the year started, they've been stockpiling a lot of good tracks to go into that that mindset. I feel like Kendall is in that place. I really feel like Kendall is in that place as a means of, you know, I gotta live some shit first before I can like actively say, because I hear that in his music a lot. Like, you know, he's reflecting on a lot of shit, even with the lyrical gymnastics that he's getting into with that. And so I applaud him on that front, because it's not the easiest thing to do, because a lot of people, they get on tracks and they just say it just about anything. Like you gotta feel it. You gotta really put your heart and soul into that. Otherwise, you're just saying some baseless words.
Right. Yeah.
And again, no disrespect. There would be the people who be at their shows ad-libbing their own songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of like having a live rap show. A lot of people don't do that no more nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, even at the highest stage.
Even at the highest stage, they just kind of, you know, couple words and just let the song go in the back and they just be on the stage going crazy with all the laser light shows, the fire and everything like that. I'm like, yeah.
I like it thinking I'm blessed. Money and power, the weight of my death. Learn to survive in their hands and I'm built. Getting my sex like that, I just left. I'm making my way. DC was a step. Slutty the gang, no slutty the set. Shot City, that's the city I rep. Worldwide, I'm as best it gets. Cut dark, my feet on their neck. Biffing nobody, yeah, ain't on my enemies. Flawless in energy, baby, I'm clean.
Do you think that the live aspect of shows or the live aspect of performance is what makes you go from liking an artist to loving an artist?
Yeah. Yeah, because I didn't. It proves they could do that live. Like, it's one thing to hear somebody do a track in the studio and everything like that. Because, like, for example, somebody told me this recently. Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Her songs punch. A whole lot of punches in there. But then to see her do all that stuff live,
Right.
it's a game changer.
So what is your goal ultimately with like rapping or your artistry as a whole?
Keep getting my shit up. If I happen to blow up with this shit, like somebody reaches out to me from TDE reached out to me, sure, fuck it, hey.
But getting that TDE cosign is not the goal.
It's really not, I don't care. Like, yeah, of course, I'd like to be on. I like that to go up. Like, you know, a lot of Chicago artists been going up and just having more shows in the scene, back to back to back, being at these places, meeting all the other big name Chicago artists and shit like that. Of course, I'd like to be in that circuit. Just how I'm being, I'm figuring shit out. Yeah, some fun
That was a good bite.
Oh yeah.
That sound was like
Perfect crunch.
perfect crunch. Yeah, this was good, man.
Hey, Sharks always
Thank
nice.
you. Thank you for inaugurating.
Look, flow sit like dope dealers. I hope the folks know I'm a stone cold. Case closed, show stiller. For the skrilla, I'm a killer. I'm a madman. Excellence, man. I'm selling dreams. I'm a sandman.
Y'all trying to walk through my old neighborhood?
Yeah.
Fuck it, we gone. I used to skateboard around here a lot, and
Yeah, you talked about skating, right? I didn't know you skated.
yeah. My cousin had this Tony Hawk themed skateboard.
Okay.
He wasn't riding it. Oh, shit, let me take this. And so that's just how I got into skateboarding a little bit more. Now around that time, I was doing park district sports and shit like that too. So everybody looking at me like, oh, you trying to be white, skating and shit like that. I'm just like, look, man, I'm having fun. I don't know about y'all. So every summer, I just be out here skating. Right here, smooth as fuck. Used to love it, go over the speed humps. And just have the best time of my life.
Did you ever get like, I don't know, bullied for?
Not really, no. Niggas tried to bully me, but it was like, you on that white shit. I'm like, look, man, I'm skating. I'm already nice.
And they would just leave you alone?
And just leave me alone. Even out here, nobody would bully me. Shit, if anything, motherfuckers was apply to me when I try to do tricks.
I don't know. That's different from the experience I hear from a lot of other people, right?
Yeah.
You got bullied.
That's
like,
the thing. That's the glorious
you know.
part about it. Like, you know, motherfuckers like, you skated through Inglewood and nobody bullied you? I'm like, nah. This is the house.
This is the house,
This
right
is the
here?
house. Y'all trying to go through the alley?
Sure.
I want to see what the trees look like back there. They have trees. It's turned into a tree. You see that room with the bars back there? That was my room.
So is this where you first started kind of like writing your first raps
Yeah.
and like, what were you like listening to around this time?
Shit, a lot of Wu-Tang, Our Future, Joey Badass, Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, Logic, a whole slew of shit. I was just all through it.
Yeah.
And I was just back here, like I had a big ass speaker and I would just be back there blasting my music 24/7.
Do you have any vivid memories of like a particular song? Like when you stand over here and you look kind of out of this view, is there something that comes to mind? Like,
You remember when Awaken My Love came out?
yeah, 2016.
In that back room, me and your mama turned the lights off, closed the door. I was in that bitch going crazy. Like that was a pivotal time.
And this was before you knew like Ryan and Kair and stuff, right?
Just about, yeah. I didn't know them until like 2016 when I came back from China after I was a U.S. ambassador for a bit. Cause
What's that? I heard that you went to China.
yeah, so I was in this program called the Chicago Urban League. My mom got me involved with that. It was like
Okay.
right up the street from De La Salle. And essentially what it is was like college readiness, life readiness for teens and shit. So essentially they teach you how to like, you know, job applications, resumes, et cetera, all that stuff, how to conduct yourself with business. And they have college tours and everything, but also they have a cultural trip to China.
Okay.
And that's part of some program that Obama set up with China, whereas they send students, China students come over to US. US
Exchange
students go over,
program,
yeah,
okay.
exactly, exchange program. Good time. Two weeks over there, met with the locals, was just living the best life.
Where in China did you go?
So we went to Beijing, Hangzhou, and Shanghai.
Okay.
I ran the Great Wall of China in jean shorts, and I could hold on to that for as long as I live.
Wow.
Nobody can take that from me.
Do you think that like really changed your outlook?
It didn't as much change my outlook. It just kind of inspired me to want to go places a little bit more, like just to go and learn things from outside of our country, just to see how shitty things really are here. I mean, like even over there, they have their ups and downs and shit like that, but it's like really beautiful. Like we don't got what they got like that.
Yeah.
And it's so much more than the world to go see, and that's why I was like excited. That's why I went to Rome, and what was that? 2019, 2018, 2019? No, 2019. 2019, I went to Rome for a class and shit like that. Like any of these opportunities I see that come up for me to just leave the country, I want to do that. So it was eye-opening because I mean, like the people we met over there, it's some people that I still stay in contact with on Instagram. Like some of the students that we met over there.
Yeah.
We just can be kind of chatting and shit like that. But yeah.
So when did that Chicago Urban League, that program, when
Yeah.
did that begin?
When did that be? I want to say.
Like what grade were you in?
I think it was freshman year. It was my freshman year.
This is
I
a
started
high
that.
school thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it I started my sophomore year actually. Started my sophomore year. Mom got me in tune with it and was like, you should go check this out, you should go do this. And so I go there every day after school and just,
Oh, it was an after school program?
yeah, basically.
Okay.
And shit, we just learned what we learned there. I met more people through there, made friendships. And yeah, it turned into the college trips, the college tours, and then the trip to China. And that just kind of like skyrocketed things from that point. That happened in 2016 was a peak year. A lot of shit happened for me that year. That's when I was like really on I'm swinging shit. That's when I like came up with the ideology that nothing really matters except for what you make matter. So it's like, I'm gonna just keep swinging because I'm good at what I do right now. And I ended up getting all A's that year, going to China. I started talking to shorties and shit like that. She just kind of went up for me
Like
at that
your
point.
confidence in a lot
Confidence,
of
went up.
aspects
Confidence in
going on.
myself. I was just
Right.
like, I could do this. I'm nice at this shit. So like,
Yeah.
why not just keep swinging? We get out this alley. I don't want no gang of alley cats to pull up and beat our ass.
No, okay, word. How do you feel like that separates you from other people who like didn't have that experience?
They might have, but in the box mentality on some things. Like to leave the country, that just opens doors to so many things. It's like there's so much more to see, so much more to do. Whereas there's a lot of people who probably have never left their hometown.
Yeah.
At all. Like, you know, it works like that.
One thing that I feel like I get from talking to you is that like a lot of the things that you do that are unique or that are opportunities that only you got, I feel like for other people would be points of isolation for them that make them feel like different and not wanted.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like you feel like that. I mean, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems like you wear all of these really unique things with like a badge of pride. But I don't think other people really do that.
It's not anything I see in people. There's a thing of isolation and things like that. Like, I'm an only child, so I've kind of like came up doing that a lot of my time. I spend a lot of my time alone, and I can enjoy these things alone, or like just being involved with other people and things. So I'm okay getting out there like that. This is a gas station I used to come to get my goodies after school.
Yeah. So talk to me about psychedelics.
Psychedelics, I had my first run-in with acid freshman year. A homie was selling it. He was like, yo, I'm selling tabs for 10. I was like, you can just give me half for the free. He gave me a whole tab. I came home, went in there, got some fruit punch, was in the crib tweaking. Of course, of all things to do, I listened to acid rap. It was hilarious.
Classic.
I was playing Dead Rise and I saw a whole lot more blood on the screen than I should have for some reason. For me, acid just kind of like overstimulated everything in me. Like my body was damn near overheating. So I was just kind of like working double time, doing whatever the fuck I was doing. Like I got to a point, I was playing a game. I was like, all right, I'm gonna lay down. I need this to calm down. I couldn't calm down. So I was just listening to music. I was just going around the house cleaning shit that didn't need to be clean, but I was just cleaning up. And then like the first time I did shrooms was my sophomore year in college over spring break. A lot of people went home. I stayed at the school with my friends and it was basically a ghost town. With that was perfect timing. Like we could just do anything.
Were your friends into similar shit as you? Like the hip hop, being in Chicago Urban League, the psychedelics in high school?
In high school? Yeah, I mean, a lot of them were athletes. A lot of them were about sneakers and shit like that. A lot of them, we would spend a lot of time in class just being on Rap Genius talking about lyrics.
Yeah.
Like that'd be the thing.
What's the parkway heading over to?
Marquette Park. It was a great place to ride my bike. It was a great place to fucking go for runs, go for walks. Great smoke spot. The Jungle Gym over there, 10 out of 10.
Oh.
10 out of 10.
We gotta check that out.
We gotta check it out.
Let's get it.
All right. Yeah, no, what was your college experience like? I'm curious.
It was fun.
It was fun?
It had some ups and downs, but it was fun altogether. Like coming in freshman year, I had my best friend from grammar school with me, and us being roommates, that just made it all the more better. And then we just kind of like gradually met our friend group as the year went on. Like legit within the first 2 weeks, we already had it established what the family was. But with it being Iowa, it's not so much to do out there, so you come up with shit to do. Cause it like
it was in Iowa.
Yeah, like we was out in a whole lot of farmland.
Okay.
It was good times. We were just doing dumb shit, just having link-ups where we go smoke, drive to go eat some shit, go off to Iowa City or something like that.
What were you studying?
Computer science and art history.
Okay.
I started off with computer science and I picked up art history and moving into like my sophomore year.
How do you think the computer science and art history like influence, or what influence did it impart on your rapping?
Computer science didn't so much have an impact on it, but like art history, it just made me think about the poetry behind a lot of paintings, a lot of movements, a lot of time periods itself, and just kind of apply that feeling to my emotions and just kind of give it a different spin.
Do you have like a favorite period? A favorite artistic movement maybe?
Baroque.
Baroque?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just dark. Shit gets sexy that way. I mean, it's dark and sexy. Great mix.
And do you think that, are there like specific things you can point to or specific tracks that you get that Baroque kind of feeling from that you've made?
Lord of Lightning, R7, Still Here, I'm Him.
I'm him, definitely. I can hear that.
Niggas talk tough, but they don't match up to my pedigree. Demon in demeanor, but my flow been so heavenly. Triple S to set, and I bet you there's no better team. Oh, behold, boy, when the koi to go to child.
Do you ever feel like sometimes like the whole, I mean, art as a whole is kind of made out to be like overcomplicated?
Yeah, it do be that a lot of the time. I mean, like those be the professionals or the professors who try to like say you're supposed to do this like that, you're supposed to do that like this, instead of just giving you broad range to capture what you want to capture.
Right.
However you need to in that moment. Like, there's no need to like apply all these mundane techniques and things to get it. I mean, like if you have a specific vision and it requires using said technique, by all means, go ahead and do it. But like to let the grading of quality come down to somebody else's opinion on it, that's why I step out.
A lot of those techniques you can self-study.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of arrive at your own solution differently to like the way that other people have maybe solved an algorithm issue. Or
Right.
like, do you think that looking back, you, aside from the degree, like you needed to go to school for computer science or art history?
I feel like I did, because I mean, where I'm at, I probably wouldn't have seen any other doorways to get there, to see the things I've seen, to understand the things I understand. And going back on the question where like, did computer science or just learning computers have any effect on the artistry? It gave me an algorithm of sorts, now that I think about it.
Okay.
Like, the logic that goes behind a lot of the coding and things like that, or a lot of the processes, I apply that to just how I put things together.
Do you have a great teacher that you remember? Like, oh yeah, like, shout out to this person for making this subject great for me?
Shout out to Mr. Wood of De La Salle. I don't know if he's still there right now, but he was my world religions teacher.
Okay.
Because going to De La Salle freshman year, Old Testament. Sophomore year, New Testament. And then junior year, world religious, open my eyes to everything else. That's when I became Zen Daddy.
Zen Daddy.
Yep. When we had our moments where we was just focusing on like Buddhism and things like Buddhism, Taoism, and Hinduism,
Okay.
that's a lot of the time we was focusing on meditation and what does that do for the mind and body and soul and shit.
Do you consider yourself religious?
Not really, no.
No?
More so spiritual. Like I believe in the religion of the human self, because I mean, like, it's just these rules and qualities we live by, like that, instead of relying on the next person to tell me how I'm supposed to live my life or what I should be doing to live a better life.
Do you think that's important?
Not really, no.
No?
I don't place importance on that. Like, my mom was having a conversation with me about that. It was like, you need to find some sort of religion, some importance of religion, so that you can pass that on to your kids and things like that. I'm just like, no.
Do you think about having kids and about raising them?
Every now and then, but like, I'm slutting right now, so I can't really.
You slut mouth.
I can't really put much emphasis on that.
Were you raised in a particular religion?
Oh yeah, my folks Christian.
Okay, so they would take you to church.
Yeah, they used to take me to church when I was younger. I didn't necessarily fuck with it because it was just loud as fuck. I hated it. And then, you know, the occasional person catching the Holy Ghost. I was like, I want to go home. It's too early.
Yeah.
Let me go. They tried to take me to Sunday school. I hated that shit. Just wake me up in the morning. Wake up, we're going to church. Fuck. Wasn't my thing at all.
Oh, there was something that you touched on earlier that was really curious. You talked about like, oh yeah, with like my art history and like I could for sure like write what I need to, like, and the poetry part of me. You mentioned something in like a previous interview about poetry, and even on Anywhere But Here, there are these like interludes where you have these poems that you're reciting. What role does poetry have in like your whole background?
Before I rapped, before I did poetry, I was not really good at talking. And I'm still kind of not good at it, but I have a way of honing it in. Like, it's a lot of word vomit, it's not a lot of structure, but like, I have my way of talking very based in my prose and the way I let my words land, because I make sure, I'm at a point now where I try to make every word matter, where even if I might slip up or something like that, like, I know what I was trying to say, but I can double back and input this word here. It's a lot of switching out in my mind that goes on with my word diction.
When was like your first introduction to poetry? And did you instantly feel a connection with it, or did it take some time to like?
I want to say I got introduced to poetry at like 6th grade because we had to write like a poem or rap about what we wanted to do in the future, and I wrote about wanting to be a game designer.
Okay. And
it was a rap of sorts. Like I mentioned Kratos in that bitch somewhere. I don't remember how it went, but just know I mentioned God of War, and our ghost wrote for the rest of the team, except for one dude who wrote about wanting to be in the CIA and shit. But that was an instance of it. I was like, okay, I know how to write this. I know how to flow some stuff together, because I was still listening to rap at the time, but I wasn't so zeroed in. 7th grade was an English literature based class. It was my homeroom. That's when I really got into it. That's when I realized I had flow. That's when I realized I had a certain prose of sorts. I know how to put my words together. I know how to write my short stories or my essay assignments with vivid imagery. And I just took that and ran with it. And that just became my meta for things, and around that time, that's when I started getting introduced to all the other rappers, Childish Gambino, Chance the Rapper, Logic, Kendrick, everybody. I was just kind of listening and seeing like how much the rap benefits off of a base of poetry.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, all rap is poetry.
Yeah.
At its core, it's just poetry. So I was just kind of like taking my time putting words together. And I had my first rap ready like sophomore year. I rapped over Dr. Dre's Deep Cover with some loose lines I had. And I just kind of like went for like 3 minutes. I was like, all right, I could do this. And just kind of pressed on with it. Like I had little writings here and there, but I wasn't like focusing on it so much. So I was just kind of like coming up with shit in my notes.
Yeah.
And like, I remember a lot, he's reversing that bitch.
Yeah.
Well, I got work.
I thought y'all was rapping and shit, you know what I'm saying? I got my own studio and I make beats, you know what I mean?
Oh, we
word.
should.
Damn, I definitely get in tone with you, man.
We shouldn't have little documentary. However, I am a rapper. Yeah.
Yeah, man, take it down. I know what's on my Instagram. I just started my Instagram because it got hacked. What's up, bro?
What's good?
It's the real shites right here, man.
Yeah.
Not poo shites, but the real shites. I do hella beats, man. I got my own studio professionally, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people from Chicago want music. Get in tune with me, man.
You based that around here?
No, actually, I'm from 103rd, but I live around, you know. Shites did the beat, actually. It's the new page, you know, I got hacked, so link with me, man.
Gotcha, man.
Alright.
Nice ride, bro.
On Facebook, y'all know what it is, man. Definitely drop a couple of beats for you, bro.
I bet.
Definitely get it in, man.
I hit your line.
Love.
Peace.
Nice meeting y'all, bro.
The reverse, he was like,
hard ass
yo.
reverse. He was like, yo, rapping. I'm probably not gonna work with him, but
That's one thing that I've been thinking about a lot too, is like, if you could change one thing about the scene or the way that people interact with each other, like what would that be?
I'm still figuring out the scene myself because I don't be out there like that. But I guess it'd be a thing of, you know, less doorkeeping.
Gatekeeping?
Gatekeeping,
Yeah.
that's the word. Yeah, less gatekeeping. That'd be the one. Because it'd be a lot of members only type of situation. So it's like, you know, I don't know you like that. I ain't fucking with you like that. So like I'm not gonna give you the stage for this. Or just a lot of people be hiding off. But I mean, like in part, that's a part of like what COVID has done to a lot of us right now. But I don't know, it's weird. I'm still figuring it out myself, because I mean, I find myself in a lot of these spaces. I meet these people. I'm like, oh yeah, we should work, or you know, send me some shit sometimes. And sometimes either they do, sometimes either they don't. Like that interaction right there. He hit the reverse. He has a Camaro. He playing trap in that bitch.
Yeah.
I probably ain't gonna hit it off with him like that. Probably ain't gonna hit him
Well, you're judging him based on
Yeah, I am.
how he looks, right?
I definitely am. If he got that shit, then cool. But
Right, there was a first impression, and it's not like you won't check him out.
Right.
But your initial judgment.
initial judgment, I was just like, I don't know. Me and bro probably ain't gonna vibe like that. We probably could have a conversation or so. He'll teach me some shit. I teach him some shit. But like music-wise, I don't know. Because I'm not in that zone. I can't do a lot. That's just how I feel about trap music in general. Like, I don't know, I feel like when he was playing in his presentation and shit like that, he gonna make a lot of that shit. He gonna make a lot of street shit. And I don't rap street shit. I can't really do that. Me rapping over street shit be kind of.
Well, there's some music that you've made that could fall under the genre of trap, right?
Yeah, there is. Like Gunmetal Black, for example.
Yeah.
That's one of those. But that was just some shit out the woodworks.
Pussy boy, where you at? I could put you on a map. Ain't no guns in this bed, but a gun metal.
What's, you know, next to all of these things, what's something that you feel like you could be doing like better as an artist?
Working with people. Cause I'm very iffy on that. Like we just explained with my man who just put up on us shit like that. Like I'm iffy on working with people because a lot of the time we just don't match up, and then it comes down to be a waste of time of sorts. Waste of lyrics, waste of a beat. It's just like I have to feel really driven to want to jump on some other beats like that. I'm still like heavily influenced by JPEG, and I've been trying to like bust out more aggressive flows or more layered recordings, but like, I don't know, it's a method to the madness. I'm still figuring it out.
When you want to get better, do you make like a clear plan for it?
I don't.
Or do you kind of just...
I just shoot. It's just you shooting in the dark, man, trying to see what's to it. See what could work, see what don't work. And when I do land it, cool. If I don't land it, I'll just keep working at it. And it's fun today, cause like you see what work, you see what don't work, and it just kind of like builds up for the next time I gotta execute some shit. Like it's a song that me and Ryan got called Slide. He absolutely bodied me on that. But the thing is, we had a conversation about it, cause he came with a little bullet time flow. My flow for the verse, mine was more so slow. I took a pause in there, and then I came in with a little bullet time flow and shit like that. It was nice. He went all the way through. His verse was a little bit longer, I must say. I might have to have an extension on there because I want to redo that verse and do some shit up on there. But like, I was talking with him on that. He was like, yeah, I kind of want to get into rapping a little bit slower like that. I was like, shit.
Yeah. You find some common ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the gang of alley cats.
Oh, hell yeah.
Chinese lady who lives over here, and she just kind of like keeps the grounds.
Yeah.
But she also just like nurtures all the cats out here. She just leaves food and water out for them. Anytime Kokomo gets out, he's over here.
Like chilling with them? Like,
basically.
Hey dude, what's up?
Like it's been a couple times I found his ass just by coming over here. See where he at. He just kicking it with the other cats. He just stayed here the whole time. All right. We back, man. What's up?
So basically, kind of going off what we're talking about with like happiness and contentment, I wanted to ask you, like, how does social media factor into that?
Not so much, really. I mean, I just post for my own betterment a lot of the time. I like to, like, as we were saying earlier, it's kind of like a vision board for me, but a lot of the time I just be posting shit to post shit. Like, this is a good thing, this is a good picture I took, or I have some good insight to put on this caption and shit like that, and people going to like it. Like, when I started breaking 100 likes and shit like that, I was like, okay, I guess I have a following on Instagram now. I mean, like, it's nothing I care so much about, but I just know that, like, I'm visible to other people in that, right?
I think a lot of rap being talked about on Twitter and a lot of that discourse happening.
That's something I do pay attention to. I like to see what people are saying about it. Like, when our Jack Harlow album came out, everybody was on my time, like, just shit on it. It was hilarious.
But that crossover between interesting conversation
right.
and then becoming, like, a waste of time or a source of negativity and hatred. Do you feel like you're good at separating those two things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't pay too much attention to it at all. It just kind of be there. Like, there's that section of negativity and there's that section people are having genuine thoughts on things like that. And I go through the Twitter threads to read up on some shit like that, like, cause that being a platform, there's so much you can learn from it, but it's also a lot of dumb shit you can't really, you can't verify.
Right.
There's just be shit out there, cause everybody has something to say on there.
Right. Are you on socials every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I'm like, I scroll Twitter just to see what's up. Like, this is my source of news right now. Like, I don't watch the news because that shit just instills more fear about stuff instead of, like, you know, just giving me some breakdown facts or some shit that somebody has looked up and verified. But like, Instagram keeps me in tune with what's going on in Chicago a lot of the time because I mainly follow people from Chicago or maybe some people that's Chicago adjacent. And Twitter just keeps me in line with the world. So, I mean, those my main sources or the avenues I go through for that. But I am on every day because I mean, like, I might have something to post tomorrow. I might have something to post today.
The reason I ask is because I know that for a lot of people that becomes a bad habit.
Yeah.
That is hard to stop. So is there anything like that you've had to consciously recognize and then take a step back from, or to really be conscientious about your use of?
I've never gotten to that point. I know some people who have done that, like they take breaks from Twitter and Instagram, like they just outright delete it and stuff, but I've never felt the need to do that because I know for a fact Twitter and Instagram could be a terrible place, but like I'm part of that. Like whether I'm contributing or I'm just kind of like swimming through the webs because it's not much.
Swimming through the wave.
I'm just swimming through the web.
Swimming like a Koifsh.
You get it.
Bro, thank you.
Anytime.